Man, I am so bored. I wish there was a way to leave the house without actually having to leave the house. That'd be so convenient because I'd have to put on shoes and pants. Alright, well, I'm already wearing pants, but I would put on shoes. I just don't want to do that. If only I had one of those virtual reality devices, that would make my life just so much easier.
Greetings, my fellow Homo sapien. My net worth is quickly dropping. The only way I can continue conducting experiments on these human life forms is if you join me in the Metaverse. Here, take this headset and join me.
Oh wow, thank you Mark Zuckerberg, thank you. Let me take this hat off, let me slip right in here. Oh my gosh. What? No! What is this? Where are the legs? Gone full YouTuber mode. It has been quite a while since I booted up the old Zuckerberg Meta machine, and since the new headset just came out and Meta has bombarded my feed with countless ads for it, I figured it was time to dust off my headset and jump back into the strange world of VR. Oh, why am I playing as Sandy Cheeks? Oh my gosh. My Quest 2 has remained dormant for probably a solid year and a half now, just sitting on my shelf, covered in dust, wishing it could collect just a crumb of my precious data.
Give me your information!
So I figured I'd give it what it wants, really treat it to a nice evening, maybe take it out to dinner, give it a good massage, dim the lights, slip it into something a little more comfortable? Really just make it feel like the amazing piece of hardware it is, and after a long, beautiful evening, I think we were both ready to dive back into the world of virtual reality. Upon slipping it onto my face after the better part of 2 years, I was greeted with a notification that it was in serious need of some system updates. Spirits crushed and my day ruined, I took it back off and patiently waited for about half an hour while it updated to its latest firmware. Once it was done being reborn and felt fresh as a daisy,
We've got a son, Catherine. A beautiful, healthy baby boy.
I eagerly slapped that bad boy back on my head and got down to business. It was exactly how I remembered it. The beautiful low poly textures, the nauseating motion sickness from turning my head too fast, the burning in my retinas from essentially having a bright phone screen glued centimeters from my eyeballs. It was perfect. Aside from the physical torment it was wreaking on my body, I quickly remembered the reason why I love virtual reality in the first place. The immersion. No other gaming medium can literally melt away your physical surroundings quite like VR. Every once in a while I'd take off my headset to readjust it or check my phone or whatever and be completely baffled because I thought I was facing a different direction the entire time. Not only that, but after you learn the controls of whatever game you're playing, the controllers basically just become an extension of your actual hands and you forget you're holding two weird looking maracas. You just can't get that kind of immersion from a mouse and keyboard. The immersion levels are just plain wacky. You have almost no recollection that you look like a complete buffoon to anyone who just may happen to see you. But you don't even care because it feels so good getting lost in whatever silly little world you encompass yourself in. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Whether you're swinging from the trees in Gorilla Tag, blasting head crabs in Half-Life Alyx, or just shooting the shit in Vrchat. Hello? Hey, there you go, buddy. I got it. Alright. You will completely forget that you exist in the corporeal world, and that's just the real beauty of VR. I almost forgot how amazing some of the VR games are. Granted, there's only a small handful of AAA titles such as Half-Life Alyx, The Walking Dead, Beat Saber, but you can rest assured knowing that there's plenty of amazing indie games out there. To name just a few, you have 11 Table Tennis, Rumble, Gorilla Tag, Pavlov, Walkabout Mini Golf, Arizona Sunshine, Vrchat, Green Hell VR, Boneworks, Bone Lab, Pistol Whip, and so many more. I found myself spending a lot of time in 11 Table Tennis, probably one of the most criminally underrated VR games out there. It's so good, yet so simple. It's ping pong, but in VR. What else could you possibly need? I'm no ping pong expert, but when I get behind the wheel in 11 Table Tennis, I suddenly feel like I'm up there with Ma Long. It's one of those VR games where it's extremely easy to sink several hours into it and not even realize it. The only reason I had to stop was because my headset literally died and I was forced to wait while it charged back up. There's an online mode that works surprisingly well considering it's a very fast-paced game and it's over Wi-Fi. I'm looking at you, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. You can also talk to or trash talk your opponent with the headset's built-in microphone, which is a nice feature.
You ever play ping trash, bro? You're bad. Why do you so bad?
There's also a single-player mode where your opponent is an AI bot and it's damn near impossible to beat. It's just perfect. Another great game that I think everyone who owns a VR headset should own is Walkabout Mini Golf. This game is bananas. It's mini golf in VR. It's literally the best idea. Who doesn't like mini golf? If you don't, you're wrong. There's just so many courses, you can play with friends, you can find golf balls with cool little designs on them scattered throughout the map. You can turn into a giant. I am a big man in a small world. And you can literally fly. And we're taking off, baby, we're flying. I forgot how fun flying in this game was. The developers really popped off with this one. Let's not forget about Stride, a high-octane parkour experience where you fight for your life as you hurtle through the rooftops of a metropolis. This game is a workout. Oh my goodness. I've only played this game for a handful of hours, but my god does it get the blood pumping. There's an Among Us port, if you're into that kind of game. Bone Lab, the spiritual successor to Boneworks, just recently came out, and I plan on doing a full video on those two games alone, but it's an amazing experience that really demonstrates the possibilities of VR and the modding community. There's just too many games to cover in one video, but those are just a couple I found myself spending countless hours in. Virtual reality is bonkers. I think we can all agree that that's an understatement. Like I said earlier, there's no other form of electronic entertainment that can literally beam you out of your own room and dump you into a completely new world where you actually forget your physical surroundings. It's on some futuristic shit for sure. I'm excited to see where the future of VR takes us. Meta just dropped their latest consumer headset. The Pico Neo is thriving and putting up a valiant fight against the Quest 2. The PlayStation VR 2 is looking very promising. Hell, even Apple is getting their toes wet in the virtual/augmented reality pool. It's a very exciting time to be a VR enthusiast. If you've made it this far in the video, you're a real one. If you want to help support a small channel like mine, do me a huge favor and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so YouTube thinks I'm worthy enough to be catapulted into the mighty YouTube algorithm. As always, my name is Evan, thank you for watching, and I hope you have one heck of a day. Bye-bye.